Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. There are a lot of hills and a lot of valleys, interesting twists and turns. My parents moved up from Oklahoma City to San Antonio, Texas. My dad was a great lawyer. He was a very well-educated man. He was a gentleman, but he, had this problem that he just couldn't overcome. He started drinking, I guess, socially, and it got worse and worse with the passage of time. Eventually lost all of his clients. My mother was a saint. She was a very gifted and talented person. She had no recourse but to pick up where he left off and support the family. This was a tough thing for me to handle as a youngster. And this was a source of great shame to me. My mother in particular recognized that I needed an identity. She put me in a competitive swimming program. And the next winter, I set a state high school record. It helped my self-confidence, and that set me on a different path that I think really saved my life. When I went to college, I met my wife, Sheila. I couldn't support her swimming. So I changed my focus and entered the business school. I'd had a star-studded kind of dream career, ultimately became chairman and CEO of Texas American Bank Shares. I spent 15 years there and climbed the corporate ladder of success. Then everything collapsed. In 1986, the economy crashed in Texas. I had been promoted to chairman and CEO of the bank. This was like being handed the wheel of the Titanic just as it hit the iceberg. In July of 1989, the bank was taken over by the FDIC. And that was the low point in my life. One child was in high school, one was in college. I had invested all of our net worth in the bank. The stock went from the mid-40s to zero. I was without a job, and I was virtually broke.
It was a really tough time for an awful lot of people, and he managed to pull himself up and forge ahead, which I really admired, and I think he set a wonderful example for a lot of other people. He's never let anything defeat him.
I had two options. Either I could give up or I could go forward. And giving up wasn't a good option. Adversity is a great teacher. It taught me that I could survive, and if I worked hard enough, I could succeed.